I'll be using Visual Studio Code for the Mac, but everything done on the Mac is fully supported on Windows and Linux, and you can freely move files back and forth across operating systems. To download Visual Studio Code, go to visualstudio.com and click on the download button. The site will recognize your system. In this case, it's going to download for Mac and take me directly to the setup instructions. Once your Visual Studio Code has downloaded, you can go to the Downloads directory and double-click on the file, or you can click on the file right within Chrome, or whatever browser you're using. Visual Studio Code will be expanded. Once it's expanded, you can take Visual Studio Code and drag it to your Applications directory. Now you can go into your Applications directory, find Visual Studio Code, double-click on it, and that will start Visual Studio Code. The first time, if you're on a Mac, you'll need to say, yes, you can open this, even though it is from the web. Going to the docs, we can see that the setup documentation offers us instructions on how to launch Visual Studio Code from any directory. It tells us to open the command palette. We'll talk about the command palette quite a bit in this course. And you open it on the Mac by pressing Shift-Command-P. On Windows, that would be Shift-Control-P. Once we're in the command palette, we can simply type shell, and that will bring us to all of the commands that have shell, and the one we want is to install code in the path. So we'll go ahead and click on that. That will put code into the path. As you can see on the lower right, it was successfully installed. Now, to finalize that, let's quit code, and then we'll start it up again. That's all it takes to install code and get it running. Let's try it out. In Windows, you can open a command prompt. On the Mac, you can open up Terminal. All you need to do is move to the directory that you want to work in my case, the code directory, and then type code for Visual Studio Code, space, and a dot. When you hit enter, code will open in that directory. Let's expand that. And you can see that I have a number of files in that directory and will in fact be working with these files as we go along. But I can now open up Visual Studio Code from any directory by using code space